Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhav, Jaya Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav, Jaya Radha Madhav, Jaya Radha Madhav, Radha Madhav. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jayanilo Premadhan Karuna Prachur Jayanilo Premadhan Karuna Prachur Ena Prabhu Kotha Gela Acharya Thakur Ena Prabhu Kotha Gela Acharya Thakur Taha Mora Swarup Rupa Kaha Sanata Kaha Mora Swarup Rupa Kaha Sanata Kadasa Raghunatha Patita Pava Kadasa Raghunatha Patita Pava Ahamora Bhatta Yuga Kahasa Ira Kahamora Bhatta Yuga Kaha Kabira Eka Kale Kotha Gila Gora Natara Eka Kale Kotha Gila Gora Natara Pashane koti mata Anale pashibo Pashane koti mata Anale pashibo Gauranga Gunera Nidhi Kotha Gele Pabo Gauranga Gunera Se sab sangira sange Je koilo bilas Sab sangira sange Je koilo bilas Se sangana paiya kande Narottamada Se sangana paiya kande Narottamada Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Vaishnav Thakur Jaya Vaishnav Jaya Bhaktivinod Thakur Bhaktivinod Bhaktivinod Thakur Bhaktivinod Jaya Vinod Thakur Bhaktivinod Bhaktivinod Thakur. He who brought the treasure of a divine love and who was filled with compassion and mercy, where has such a personalities as a Srinivas Acharya gone? Where are my Swarup Damodar and Rupa Goswami? Where is Sanatan? Where is Raghunath Das, the savior of the fallen? Where are my Raghunath Bhatta and Bhatta Gopal? And where is Krishnadas Kaviraj? Where did Lord Gauranga, the great dancer, suddenly go? I will smash my head against the rock and enter into the fire. Where will I find Lord Gauranga, the reservoir of all wonderful qualities? Being unable to obtain the association of Lord Gauranga, accompanied by all of these devotees, in whose association he performed his pastime, Narottam Das simply weeps. So this song is known as a Saparashata Bhagavad Viraha Janita Vila. This is from one of the books of Narottam Das Thakur, called as a Prarthana, lamentation due to separation from the Lord and his associates. Our Vaishnava Acharyas, they knew that in the age of Kali, people are very, what we say, unfortunate. And they don't know how to pray and whom to pray. That's why they have wrote down all these bhajans for us. To know what is the mood of Vaishnava when the other Vaishnava disappears, or the Lord's associate disappears from this world. Because unless and until we understand their mood, it's really difficult for us to know the process of devotional service, which is meant for us, especially in this age of Kali. And we are so fortunate actually. We have got birth in this particular Kali Yuga. Because Lord Krishna himself appeared as a Lord Gauranga. And for what is the purpose behind that? To give that thing which he has not given other incarnations. And that is love of God. Because he came in the mood of Srimati Radharani, so he has given that thing. And to assist their lordship, Lord's associate, they descended in this material world. And they have given such a wonderful process for us to follow. And one among them, the foremost associate of their lordship, Bhaktivinod Thakur. He was born in Shakabda 1760. That's on the 18th day in the month of Bhadra. The place is known as a Ulagram, or right now it is known as a Veernagar. And this Veernagar is very famous those days, especially in the Bengal, as a wealthiest village. Because people from the mercantile community, they were staying there. And Bhaktivinod Thakur's maternal grandfather, Ishwar Chandra Mustafi, he was a very big merchant as well as a landlord. And being such a wealthy person, he was very kind-hearted and as well as a very religious person. So he used to donate a lot. Actually, Bhaktivinod Thakur was born in the family of Purushottam Datta, one of the associate of Lord Gauranga. And they were from the Kayastha family. There was one prominent person in their family. His name was Govinda Sharan Datta. He was the 17th descendant of Purushottam Datta. And he gave his property to his brother Harisharan in Andula Gram and established the Govindapara on the bank of Ganges. And this Datta family was given a big land by Sultan of Delhi. And after that, that was again maintained by the Britishers and gave them the same opportunities. His great-grandfather asked his father to go to Ulagram and settle down in Orissa. So he went with his family and he settled down there. And after some time, as Bhaktivinod Thakur was still a small boy, his father passed away. And his grandfather took care of him. And his grandfather was very much devoted to Mother Durga. And by seeing his grandfather worshipping Mother Durga, Bhaktivinod Thakur, he saw everything, how religiously and how wonderfully his grandfather was living his life. So he also started worshipping Mother Durga. Said that in the first part of her life, he was not that much into devotion and everything. But he was very much studious. And that's why, for the sake of gaining knowledge, he started acquiring all sorts of or different branches of knowledge from the different parts of the world. And being a very intelligent childhood, he was able to acquire all this philosophical knowledge. Afterward, when he was well versed and very much into education, and actually he was in the Krishnanagar. Because of his education qualification, when he got appointed as a magistrate for the Krishnanagar, that was actually afterward. Before that, he was given other responsibilities in Odisha itself. And when he was there, because of his own political and social influence, he started English education in Odisha. He was the first person or pioneer of education system, the British education system in India, in Odisha, that part of India. After that, he was appointed because of his ability. He was appointed as a superintendent for the Jagannath temple. So those days he used to get all the Mahaprasad from Jagannath temple. And he was just staying next to Jagannath temple. And as he was staying there, he came in contact with some Gaudiya devotees. And he started studying the Gaudiya literature. Actually, nothing was available, that time. Hardly it was like a 200 years. Mahaprabhu has passed away. But it was very difficult for him to get the proper copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita. He did a lot of research, went to so many people, and ultimately he was able to find one authentic copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita. He gone through the Chaitanya Charitamrita. He understood that this is the highest philosophy in the world that one can follow. But it was misly represented by so-called Gaudiyas. There were 13 upper sampradayas. They came up after Lord Gauranga's pastimes when got over. And they come with their own propensities and different ways they started preaching about it. And because of that, what happened? This Gaudiya mission was considered, or Gaudiya Sampradaya was considered as a beggar's way of earning money. All they became Sahajas, and then there was a Gauranga Nagari, Aulabau, and so many things. And people were having so many illicit connections. Because of that, the educated mass of those days from Odisha and Bengal, they were not that much respecting this Gaudiya Sampradaya. And the teachings of Mahaprabhu were lost. Can you imagine? Almost lost. Whatever teachings were there, very few of the Babajis, like Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj or Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Vamshidas Babaji Maharaj, all they were practicing, but they were practicing in isolated way. There were no prominent preacher about this philosophy. Then Bhaktivinod Thakur, he decided to put forward this Gaudiya Sampradaya. And then he started the first institute. That is, anybody remembers that? Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Samaj. That was the first institute that he started. And then he started preaching. Because of his deep study of Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, within a short period of a time, he became well known in genuine Gaudiya devotees. They started contacting him. When he was in Jagannath Puri, during that time only, there was one person. His name was Bhishak Sen. He was considering himself as a Mahavishnu. And he was preaching like that. Actually, he was like a, what they call, woman hunter. But he was claiming himself as a Mahavishnu. And he declared that within this day, I'm going to destroy all these Britishers. So British people became cautious of that. Because he had some mystic powers and he was working with that. So they appointed Bhaktivinod Thakur to investigate what is that matter, Kedarnath Datta. They were knowing this person is very powerful and he can do something for him. So Bhaktivinod Thakur, he went and he visited first. And he asked him, why you are doing all these things? You know our own Vedic scripture, what it says about Mahavishnu and Lord himself. And all the incarnation, they are enlisted in our scriptures. Then why? Why you are pretending as an incarnation? Then he became so disturbed and he started abusing Bhaktivinod Thakur. Still, Bhaktivinod Thakur tried to console him and tried to make him understand, but he became aggressive and his followers started to attack Bhaktivinod Thakur. Then Bhaktivinod Thakur, with the help of a British police officer, just put him behind the bars. And as soon as he did that, This tantric, with his some black magic, all the family members of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they started suffering. His wife got sick, his kids got sick, and it was like now they are going to leave their body. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when he understand that, this is nothing, because he tried to do something Bhaktivinoda Thakur, but Bhaktivinoda Thakur was far better elevated than him in spirituality. So his black magic was not working on him. Not much. Actually, he got a hard trouble, but he was not able to take away his life. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur advised police officers, just shave off this guy, because he was having very long hairs. And generally these tantrics, they keep all their powers in their hairs. So he got shaved up. When they got him shaved up, the whole mystic, whatever his magic was, his magic spell was lost. And within a week, he did literally and dwindled and died in the jail. So that made Bhaktivinoda Thakur more famous actually. So when the calamities comes in the life of devotees, that calamities enhance the fame that devotee. And that's what you can see in each and every devotee's life. Whenever they have gone through the biggest trouble, after that trouble, they have become more famous. And since that, the Bhaktivinoda Thakur become more famous. So one place they were traveling actually, they came across to one village. He and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his son, Vimal Prashad. And there was some trouble by one Munja, they called. Munja is like a Brahmana, a Brahmachari Brahmana who has committed suicide and became a Brahma Rakshasa. So he was residing there and he was troubling people who were passing by that tree. So all they came and they prayed to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, please save us, because this whole village is getting trouble. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, okay, I will do something. He went there, he sat under the tree and he started reading Bhagavatam. As he finished reading Bhagavatam, that Brahma Rakshasa got liberated and went back. So that again his fame increased. Then Britisher appointed him, they gave him a special task to take care of dacoits on the way to Mathura. Because those days, most of the Bengalis, Vaishnavas, they used to travel all the way from Bengal to Vrindavan or Chaturmas. And during that time, in the main road, in between, these dacoits, they used to rob them. So now Britishers, they came to know that Kedarnath Dutt is a very elevated person in this particular line. So he can do better than anyone else if we give the responsibility, because he is into that and he will take care of those people. So when he was sent there, he took care of that dacoits, and there were no trouble from that time. And that time he came and stayed to Radhakund for a few days. There he met so many devotees. And there he made a place called Swananda Sukha Kunja, where he used to do his bhajan. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he maintained that until day, if you go there, आपको मालूम है वो राधा कुंड पे जो स्वानंद स्फूर्ति कुंज है, that place where he used to perform his bhajan. After that, when he came back, then when he got a transfer to Krishnanagar, and he was that time enough old actually, he was not able to travel much. And he wanted to stay in Navadvip, because he was knowing that this is the place in the age of Akali which can really gives you the highest perfection of life. And after residing there, what they call Surabhi Kunya. There he had his house in Navadvip, and every day, नवद्वीप नहीं है ना, स्वरूपगंज नवद्वीप का ही था. So when he was staying there, he had a doubt in his heart, because those days they used to consider Lord Gauranga's birthplace in Navadvip rather than Antardvip, which is now called as Mayapur. So that is actually amongst the Navadvip, that is Antardvip, the middle part. That's what they call the lotus, and the middle circular part, what they call? Lotus has its petals, and all the petals they stick to one, that middle part. It has some technical, forget, but you got it, what it is. So that place, Bhaktivinod Thakur his heart was saying that Lord Gauranga's birthplace must be on the other side of Ganges, not this. So he got them the study of all the ancient maps. And then he came to know that 150 years back, Ganges was not flowing from here. It was flowing from that side. And that was the actual place where Lord Gauranga was born. And just to confirm that, what he did, he called up Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj. And Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj was 115 or 25 years old that time. Can you imagine? 100 plus something. And he was so thin and so weak. Even if he has to see, then his personal servant used to open his eyes like this. And then he was able to see. He was not able to even lift his eyelids. It was very tough for him. But still he was chanting. If a person is not able to lift his eyelids, how he can walk then? So one of his disciples, Nityananda, he used to carry him in a wooden basket. The bamboo baskets, the big one. And he used to carry him everywhere, all the places. So Bhaktivinod Thakur requested them, please come and visit this place. So as soon as Nityananda, he came to that place exactly where Yogapith is now there. Jagannath Das Babaji, he jumped out of that basket and he started chanting Gauranga, Gauranga, Gaurahari, Gaurahari. And that was the confirmation for Bhaktivinod Thakur that this is the place where Lord Gauranga was. Actually, that tract of a land was owned by some Muslims. Then Bhaktivinod Thakur, he got that land from them. And he was capable. He would have built that Yogapeth temple himself. But he wanted that everyone whoever is Bengali there, and mostly the educated class of people, they should contribute. And for that purpose, he went to Calcutta door to door asking for donations. It was not tough for him to do that because he was just next to Viceroy actually. He was a magistrate. If he wanted, he would have himself built that. But to get done the service from all the people and get them spiritual benefits, he went himself door to door and begged for that. And then he built that temple. Then gradually, one by one, places got revealed, like a Srivas Thakurangan, then Advaita Acharya's place. Next to that, then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, he discovered that Shamakund and Radhakund. Then Mukunda Datta's place. Then further they went and they found it out, the place where Kaji used to live. Like that, one by one, place got developed. And Bhaktivinod Thakur's schedule, as it was given in the 7th Goswami book, His schedule was very tight actually. He used to wind up all his material business within 3 to 2 hours maximum. His office and everything. He was so important for British government that for him, because when he shifted there, he just resigned. He said, I don't want this post and you take care of that. I'm no more interested in working because most of my time is going in traveling. Because I'm staying in Navadvip and I have to go to office like a Krishnanagar. And those days, right now it is like a 40 kilometers away from each other or 25 kilometers. But those days, they have to travel a lot because no proper roads, nothing. They had only that buggy they call the horse. What they call here in London? They are huh? Horse carriage. So they were having that, but it was too difficult to go every day. He said, "Enough of that. I don't want that." So he resigned. Then British government took it so seriously. They said no. Within a month or two, they put a railway track and they arranged for one rail for him, engine and only two bogies, one solely for him and one for the attendants, and that was arranged for him so that he can go comfortably and come back. So when he used to come back, most of the time he used to spend in reading Bhagavatam and discussing Bhagavatam. So all the great Babajis in Navadvip, they used to come and attend his. He was the first person who established the worship of Gaur Gadadhar. He was the first person who actually introduced the worship of Gadadhar as Srimati Radharani. Because Gadadhar Pandit is considered as the incarnation of Radharani in Gauri. So he started worship of Gaur Gadadhar. If you go to his Swananda Sukhada Kund, his place in Surabhi Kunj, there you will find the nice deities of Gaur Gadadhar. And before inventing that Lord Gauranga's birthplace, every day when he used to chant and he used to come out of his room and used to be on the terrace, he used to see a big aura or effulgence coming out from the other side of Ganga. And that created doubt in his heart. That must be the place for Lord Gauranga's appearance. And then he became more curious and he started. Whenever he used to chant his rounds, he used to chant with such a intensity and like a child's cry every day. It's not like a one day only. It's like every day. He used to literally cry while chanting. He like a 3 to 4 hours a day, not more than that. And his diet was also very fixed, not much. That has given in detail in Saptum, the seventh Goswami, that what he used to do. But most important part of his life, he spent it for writing books. And he set an example actually. And because this Gaudiya mission was preached by him, the educated class of Bengal and Odisha, they accepted Gaudiya philosophy. Otherwise, it had no value those days. And when he was appointed as a superintendent for Jagannath Temple, he established such a wonderful way of worship for Lord Jagannath that people, they started praising him a lot. And there he prayed to Lord Jagannath, the mission that I have taken up to please about Lord Gauranga's message. I need an assistant who can assist me for this. And after a year and so, there was a son born. to his wife, Bhagavati. And that was Bimala Prasad, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, since his childhood, he was so attached to his father and his instructions. More than the material education, he used to dedicate his time to read his father's book, to attend all the courses, discourses that his father has given. And he got well groomed and trained by his father. And when Bhaktivinod Thakur was really very sick, and in Malda there was a big program arranged by the Brahmins and Vaishnavas, because those days Brahmins, they were so orthodox and they were putting themselves so high, even though they were not following the all Brahminical standards, and they were ridiculing the Vaishnavas. So just to establish the importance of Vaishnavas, they asked Bhaktivinod Thakur especially, please come and grace this occasion and enlighten people about Vaishnavism. But he was so sick that time, so he asked Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, and that was the first exposure of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur to Vaishnava community. And that made him a famous like anything, as a great scholar and the Acharya, forthcoming Acharya for the Gaudiya Siddhanta. Bhaktivinod Thakur, he had 13 kids, including daughters and sons. And he has wrote down one wonderful song which express how I got entangled in this household life with so many kids and so many other material responsibilities. But my Lord, you are so kind, still you have given me some remembrance of you. And now I want to dedicate my life. And that prayer is like a lalasam, desiring for his own eternal position. He wrote 125 books in 6 different languages: Odisha, Sanskrit, Bengali, Farsi, English, and all they were published in different places. The very specific year, like 1896, the same year when Prabhupada was born, the first Gaudiya literature went abroad. The teachings and life and percept of Lord Chaitanya, that was the first book in English, has gone to Germany, written by Bhaktivinod Thakur. People got exposure for Lord Gauranga's life and his teachings. And after that, at the fag end of his life, he decided to do a Nirjan Bhajan. So he left his household responsibilities to his kids and came to Jagannath Puri. Have you seen his Bhajan Kuti in Jagannath Puri? Where it is?
His house was like a front door and the outside house.
No. If you walk from Siddhabakur towards Haridas Thakur Samadhi, in between actually, not exactly Haridas Thakur. Now they have one mutt there, but that was not exact place. But it is in between that Bharat Manav Samaj something is there. Next to that there is a place where he used to stay. When he took a Babaji initiation, he took like a Mount Brata. He never had a single conversation with him. Just he sat and chanted his rounds. And today is the day when he entered into the eternal Leela of their Lordship. And most of the devotees say that in his eternal form, he's like a Vilas Manjari or assistant to that Manjari. So Bhaktivinod Thakur, because of his such a wonderful dedication and accuracy of work to establish Lord Gauranga's movement. By seeing that, most glorious acharyas, they have considered him as the seventh acharya, seventh Goswami. Because 6 Goswamis, as per the instruction of Lord Gauranga, they wrote many scriptures, many books to put forward the Siddhanta of Gaudiya. And Bhaktivinod Thakur, after most probably after Vishwanath or Baldev Vidyabhushan, he was the prominent acharya who wrote and gave commentaries on the books. Before that, Bhaktivinod Thakur. After Baldev Vidyabhushan, I think he is the prominent one who literally wrote books to establish or to re-establish this Gaudiya Siddhanta. In true sense, actually, he is the pioneer of ISKCON. The worldwide preaching mission of Lord Gauranga. It has started from him. It was taken seriously by his son, and after that, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. So whatever we are and whoever we are in our devotional life today, it's by the mercy of Bhaktivinod Thakur. If he would have not taken that seriously, and he would have not established that time Lord Gauranga's message, we would have been lost. And as Prabhupada says that everyone, especially on these days like appearance and disappearance day of great acharyas, if we really pray at their lotus feet, beg at their feet that please, we don't have any qualification of doing anything. Forget about being a devotee. To become a human being, we don't have any qualification. It's by their causeless mercy we can be able to survive ourselves on this path of devotional service. So let's pray at the feet of such a great acharya that one day at least we can become qualified by their mercy to render some devotional service in this life. Srila Bhaktivinod Thakur Mahashay ki Hare Krishna.
Did he ever become a Vaishnava?
Who?
Most of his life he was a Grihastha. And he revitalized through the teachings of Chaitanya the Vaishnava movement, deity worship, and discipleship. But during that, and becoming an acharya, which he is, did he actually, after his initiation, become a Vaishnava?
He was born in Vaishnava family.
Okay.
Because he was the descendant of Purushottam Dutt. Purushottam Dutt was one of the associate of Lord Gauranga.
Okay. This will show that. Okay.
Still there as a baby monk. He's still there.
His great grandfather from mother's side, he was worshipper, but his father's side they were from Vaishnava. 17%. Govinda Das. Bhaktivinod Thakur Mahashay ki jai.